Hey, I'm John Quacca. I'm the chief of the Tupelo, Mississippi Police Department, and I want to talk to you today about a problem that is not only here locally in Tupelo, but it is also a problem nationwide, and that is the overdose and deaths we are seeing with the drug called fentanyl. This is a huge problem that should not be occurring at all if people would just take the time to be educated about this matter. Fentanyl we're seeing now is in every drug that everyone is acquiring. It's in meth, it's in Adderall. Any type of drug that you buy on the streets from a drug dealer or from anywhere that's not a pharmacy, you must assume that there's fentanyl in it. We see fentanyl in every type of drug that people are buying off the streets. The only way you should be taking drugs is from a licensed doctor and from a pharmacy. Anything else is going to be very detrimental to you. It does not take much fentanyl at all to create an overdose and cause someone to die. I hope this video you're about to watch is informative and educational and gives you the tools you need to protect yourself and your family members and your friends from this dangerous epidemic we're seeing known as fentanyl.
I'm Alicia Waldrop. I've been a forensic drug chemist for 23 years here at the Tupelo Crime Lab. My job is to chemically analyze substances that are submitted by law enforcement agencies to determine if they contain controlled substances. Fentanyl is a very powerful opiate that we've been seeing a lot of in our area. It's similar to some opiate prescription medicines, but it can be 50 to 100 times stronger than other opiates. Just a small amount can be a dangerous or lethal amount. So it's very addictive and very little is needed to produce effects. So many drug dealers are switching other drugs out to fentanyl because it's so little of it is needed that it's a cheaper substitute for them. This is a picture of what could potentially be a lethal dose of fentanyl. A lethal dose is approximately 2 milligrams, which is about the size of 5 grains of salt. Some of the forms that we have received in the lab are powders. The powders can be very dangerous because if they become airborne, it's easy for the officers or users to accidentally ingest the powder, causing an overdose. But what we mostly see is fentanyl pressed into counterfeit tablets that resemble oxycodone tablets. Many of these tablets could contain a lethal dose that could potentially kill the user. There have been many overdoses associated with these tablets. Narcan can counteract the effects of fentanyl and other opiates temporarily, giving the emergency personnel time to get that person to the hospital, but it does not completely reverse the effects during an overdose. Some of the symptoms of fentanyl intoxication can include drowsiness, dizziness, loss of consciousness, or respiratory distress. The person could have slowed breathing or stop breathing altogether. The amount of fentanyl cases that we have received in the past 2 years is probably 5 times more than what we received in, say, 2020. One thing that concerns me about the counterfeit tablets that we're receiving is that the users may not know that fentanyl is present. They may think that they're using an oxycodone tablet that the counterfeit tablet resembles and not know that it contains a much more powerful drug. Even if the user is aware that there's fentanyl in the tablet, they have no way of knowing how much fentanyl is present. So that tablet could contain very little, or it could contain a lethal dose. There's no way for the user to distinguish. Fentanyl can be mixed with other drugs such as methamphetamine, heroin, anything. And so the user may not have any idea that fentanyl is present in what they're using. Another form of illicit tablets that we received are alleged ecstasy or mollies. Users often believe that they are taking MDMA, but actually the tablets now contain methamphetamine, and many of the users are unaware of what drug they're actually taking or how much is in these tablets. T.H.C, which is tetrahydrocannabinol, is the active component of marijuana, but it can also be seen in other forms such as edibles, which includes gummies, candies, brownies, cookies, you name it. THC is also very addictive. One thing that concerns me about these edibles is often the package contains little indication that THC is present. And the packaging is also colorful and resembles regular everyday candies, which could appeal to children. If it's removed from the packaging, there's no way to distinguish the THC edibles from just regular everyday household candies. Another thing that's dangerous about edibles is the effects take anywhere from 30 minutes to a couple of hours to become fully active. So a younger user may keep ingesting the product, not knowing that it takes a while to take effect, and by the time it does take effect, they have ingested a dangerous amount of THC. Ingesting large amounts of THC can cause symptoms such as anxiety, dizziness, impaired mobility, hallucinations, and panic attacks. Children and teenagers are at the biggest risk of THC edibles due to the fact that they resemble candy and they're more appealing to them. They may not know that the candy contains THC, or they may not completely understand what the effects could be if they ingest too much.
You just watched a short video that exposed you to the dangers of THC, ecstasy, and fentanyl. Please take the knowledge you just learned, use it wisely, share it with your family, and together with the police department, we can cut down on the overdose and the deaths we are seeing from illegal narcotics. Thank you.